today we are sat here with my legend client Aidan, and we've just had a review call for 2025, mapping out the first quarter of the next phase of stuff after he's just successfully completed phase one, which was dropping, what was it, dropping 10 kilos more? 50 more?
Well, about 10 kilos, yeah. Just over 10 kilos, yeah.
I was thinking 10%, but it's 10 kilos, which is around 12 to 50%, which again is absolutely perfect. And now we're going to spend the start of 2025 really adding on muscle tissue. So, Aidan, just introduce yourself, who you are, what you're doing here, and we'll go from there.
So hi everyone, I'm Aidan. So yeah, I joined Tribe back in sort of mid-August 2024. I sort of got to a point where I'd adopted twins, so I became a dad in May, around May time last year. And up to that point, I'd been training for many years before that, a lot of focus, a lot of sort of focus on what I needed to do. But I'd been in and out of the gym. But I reached out to Lewis when sort of, like I said, become a dad. I started to sort of have less focus on my training, on my movement, on my nutrition, and I knew I needed to get something done. I need to do something about it. Lucy and I had been speaking over Instagram. And I hadn't had a call, and it was a bit of a no-brainer after I spoke to Lewis. It was like, yeah, you know what, I need to get on board and do something. It was, when I look back, it was the best decision I ever made. To be honest, it's been absolutely brilliant journey up to this point. Like it was said, but 10 kilograms, since August, which has been nowhere near as hard as I thought it was going to be. And when I look back, I wish I'd done this years ago. It's something that, if I'd done it years ago, I think, where could I have been now? So I see it as a really exciting journey. When I look forward to, what I want to achieve, what I can achieve over the next 12 months, it's a really exciting time.
No, mate, like you said there, like it's easier than you thought it would be. And I think, because when people see these big numbers of like, I've dropped 20 kilos, 10 kilos, 30 kilos, ran a marathon, whatever, it seems such a far stretch for a lot of people. Whereas, as you said, well, especially when I know, 'cause again, I'm a parent, you've got a family, you've run a business, or you've got like a stressful job, you've got a family to look after, you're trying to train, you've got so many plates to spin. And it can sometimes be quite overwhelming to be like, how is this going to be possible? But my job is to just condense that into like this specific roadmap and go, right, these are the things that we need to focus on and then go into there. Because I think from day one we've said that, didn't we? Like we can't let this fitness impact other areas of our life, like the family side. So what have we done just to make sure it fits? We walk train 3 days a week. Can you just give people a little bit of an idea of what we've been doing?
Yeah, so it's like I say, we had a conversation. So it was very important, especially for my wife as well, that I was there to support her. Like I say, getting the twins, it's one thing having one baby, it's one thing having two 7-month-old twins. So it was a case of trying to find something that fit, and Lewis, you were very sort of understanding of my home environment, and my need to be at home to help with the kids, and manage stressful job in terms of what I've got going day to day. So it was a case of trying to find something that met that balance. And I knew myself I couldn't do one day a week. I can't do one day a week, but I also couldn't do 5 days a week. And it was really important for me that, well, one, I picked a coach that actually understood. You being a dad yourself, you understand exactly what's going on, and that was absolutely critical for me. But you also know what it's like to run your own business, and whilst I don't run my own business, like I say, a busy job, you know what it's like. So we had a chat. We tried to find the best balance. I came to you and said, right, I think I can do X, Y, and Z. So I did. I said I can do roughly 45 minutes a day in the gym, for 3 times a week. So we pulled together a program. You pulled together a program for me to be able to follow based on that, and it's not been a major challenge to meet that at all. In terms of my step count, again, nothing against other coaches, but sometimes there's an expectation: 10,000 steps a day, 5 or 6 days a week in the gym. It's just not possible, and you completely get that, and that was so important to me. I mean, my step count is between 6 and 8,000, which is very, very achievable. And again, we've talked about ways to achieve that, especially on busy days at work. Get up and walk around when I'm on a call. I know it's simple stuff, but actually, it's stuff that you sometimes just need to hear to think, well, actually, I can do it. And you give me the belief in myself to actually say, well, I can achieve that. I can achieve 3 days in a week. I can achieve home life. And even eating is a big thing as well. So it's a case of, well, I don't want to be cooking 3 different meals because I don't want to cook a meal for myself. I don't want my wife to have to cook for herself and for the kids.
Yeah.
So it was a case of, following your 2+1 method. I have my breakfast and my lunch because, I don't eat them with the kids, I don't eat them with the family, so I can do what I need to do for them. And then for my evening meal, it was a case of just make sure I save enough calories for what I'm having, and yeah, be conscious of what we're doing. And again, we talked loads about swapping stuff out to to make sure I hit my calories, whether it was on cutting, whether it's on sort of building, and it's worked really well. And like I say, it's been to an extent, it's been fairly effortless. It's completely slotted into my family life, and even before, even when I did get the twins, I was sort of on in and out of the gym. I was doing roughly 3 days a week anyway, and I was eating in the same way, but in terms of 3 meals a day, but I just wasn't making the right choices. And again, after the conversations and the planning with you, it all just sort of fit in really. It just came together like a jigsaw puzzle. To be honest, it all came together perfectly.
Yeah, I love that. I call it the trifecta, which is like, people, I use the analogy of like you've got work, you've got family, and then you've got fitness. Like they're the three big things in everyone's life. And people assume that two have to be worked on and one has to drop off. So work and family, I can't do the fitness thing. Fitness and family, I can't do the work thing, and vice versa. So what are some of the wins that you think's happened from making it fit into your lifestyle that's not being fitness related, anything to do with work, energy, stress levels, work, home life, any wins that have came from that side? Because I want to explain to people that it works in unison, it all works together.
It does. I mean, it's daft, but like I'd be going. So, for example, in the morning, I'd be skipping breakfast, and with work, I wasn't prioritizing my nutrition, but I'm having, I'm having more for my breakfast than I've ever eaten before. It's giving me energy. It's giving me focus in the day. And it's giving, this whole program is giving me energy, with the kids as well. So, whilst I might be going out and going to the gym and spending 45 minutes, actually, it's leaving me more energized. It's lifting my mood, it's lifting my, my feelings, and it's like, well, actually, I feel in a much better place than I ever was, and as a result, it means I'm more present with the kids, I'm more present with my wife, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying achieving in this program, which is giving me, the right outlook and right attitude with the home life as well. So it's been it's a huge benefit to me. Like I say, and the big thing is it's energy, and I think some people sometimes think when you go to the gym, you're gonna feel tired, but you're not, because, like I say, it just lifts you. I don't know if it's a dopamine effect or whatever it is. I'm not sure, but whatever it gives you, it makes a huge difference. And like I say, in work, I feel I'm more focused in work day to day. I feel like I've got the energy, and when I'm sat in the office or in my home office, whatever it is. Yeah, it's been overall. It's given me the building blocks day to day, just to operate. To be honest, and it's, again, something it was an impact, and something, sort of value I didn't really expect to get. It was like an added bonus, really. My thought was, well, I'll go into this, I'll succeed in the gym, and that'll be it. But it's not like you say; it affects all parts of your life. And this journey is, learning from you is that I've learned so much across this journey that it is a lot more than just what you see. Like you say, it's the foundations of everything you do day to day.
Literally, I'm gonna get this t-shirt right now, it's just right next to me. And what do we put on the back? You've got one of these, is more than fitness. Put it there.
Exactly, that's it.
More than fitness, and that's what we stand for. Because, as I say, like a lot of, and again, I feel like I slated the industry on every single one of these, but as you said, people don't resonate with what it's like to be a real life adult. And I have this conversation all the time. People who follow us on YouTube or follow other influencers or whatever and go, all they do is train and like look good and whatever, but they've got no family life, or they're not parents usually, or they haven't got a business. And when you understand like everyone's in that same boat, and you need to resonate with that people. So you need to meet you where you're at, you need to find a plan that suits you. And as I said, respect your values of like, I can't push 6 days a week because of the responsibilities that you've got. And it's massively important to understand that as well. So again, you've absolutely smashed it since you came on board. Like honestly, I think it's been effortless because a, a lot of people, and you probably in this boat, you would agree, and we were speaking off camera before this, was before you started, no wonder you were struggling to, you were saying you were dieting one time, you didn't know how to bulk, and you didn't know what to do because you lack complete clarity. Like life's already busy, and the last thing you want to do is like, am I doing this right? Is that the right thing to do? Is that the right program? Is it just the right calories? Am I working hard enough? Am I seeing results? What should I do here? Like all these things that are overwhelming as it is, you need to get them off your plate. And that's where, like I say it all the time, clarity, which is the roadmap, being super clear with what we're doing, gives you action. You create action, you do the thing, You see the results, and that gives you more motivation, and then you keep doing that, rinse and repeat and rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
So, you think that's what you're struggling with when you're saying that, like before you started, like that clarity of, am I doing this right, basically?
Absolutely. I mean, yeah. I mean, I would read things online and think, I know what I need to do, and I think, I've got myself a bit of a training program that I pulled together myself, and like I say, I just wasn't seeing the benefit of it. But what I wasn't doing was I wasn't tracking my calories. So I wasn't really thinking about what I was taking on board, whether it was enough, whether it wasn't enough. I was saying, well, I'm not losing weight. Sometimes I wasn't gaining weight, or sometimes I was gaining weight, but I wasn't gaining the right kind of weight. And I was just, to be honest with you, I was just sort of completely aimless. And like I said, I've done that and it's not like I've been going to the gym for 2 or 3 years. I've been going to the gym for over 10 years. And when you look at my starting position, you think, well, you've never stepped foot in a gym, because I didn't have the clarity ultimately. Like I say, I'm coming to you, and something I've said, time and time again as we've spoke is that knowledge and that understanding of what you need to do from yourself. You get it, you know exactly what you need to do, and there's always that nervousness. You think, well, you're paying the money for it, and it's ultimately, like I say, I can't stress enough the value I've got from it. You're paying for money. You want to see results ultimately, and I think a lot of that though, yes, there is obviously it has to come, knowledge and experience has to come for you in terms of giving us the guidance in terms of what we need to do. But a lot of it comes on the me or the consumers of your service to actually put that into action. Because if I don't put it into action, I don't get the benefit of it. But like I say, following your guidance, taking your experience on board, and even just the tips as well. Like when I'm not sure about something or I'm having a difficult week with something. Say I was having a difficult week with a couple of weeks with work leading to Christmas, and I was worried about is this going to impact? I hadn't been able to do all of my sessions because things just became a bit too much. And it was, again, it was that bit of guidance. Well, do this, do that, focus on this, focus on that. Just set me straight, and it has had zero impact, and in fact I've seen continued benefit from it. So, as I say, that knowledge and experience that you're able to impart on me and the rest of your clients is what makes us able to be successful. And I think it's really important when you're making a choice when I was making a choice as well, in terms of working with a coach, it was finding somebody who had that experience, that knowledge, that understanding, and I felt, what, yes, they do know what they're talking about, and I can be successful. And like I say, I haven't looked back since starting it. It was the best decision I ever made, and I knew from the minute I spoke to you, Lewis, that I thought, what, we know what we need to do here. You had very clearly planned for me for day one. And I say it's when I look back and look at even like the first 4 weeks, the progress I made in 4 weeks was more than I'd made in 10 years in the gym. You know what I mean? So that's how valuable it is. And I think anyone who is looking to make a change, and I'm not just saying this because we're having this conversation, anyone who's looking to make a change, it's just about taking that first step, and it's having the confidence to do that. And I think once you do it, and as long as you put the effort into it, you'll absolutely see the results from it.
100%. It's crazy to think that, like, because I said that, like, I do this every day with everyone. Like, this is what I'm built to do. But like, and no wonder, and this is what frustrates me, the world, 9 times out of 10, everyone's been coached before in some capacity. And no, as you said there, when you're investing in something, you need to see the return. Like, it's absolutely pointless if you don't. So people have in the past have probably been coached, maybe not at a good standard. They've lacked trust because they've not got the return that they wanted for whatever that reason is. And then all of a sudden that trust falls even lower. And then in order to get back up to that point of like how it makes everything even harder. How am I meant to get to this position that I want to when I've tried it in the past, even with support, and I haven't got there? So how the hell am I going to do it? And I think like that's what we're trying, and this is what these conversations do is they help like people understand that you have to make an investment, you have to work hard to do the thing, but ultimately you don't know what you don't know. So you have to try it at least, and that's where you've absolutely thrived. And I said, you've ticked off phase one, which is getting into the best position you've been in, like ultimately done. The next phase now is the fun bit, where, as we've said there, we want to try and grow quite a lot, and I'm excited to see where we can go in 2025, mate. So I'll let you round up because I know that you've got the twins there. It's 4:30. Have you got anything that you want to round off with or anything before we shut shop?
No, I think just again, just to reiterate, it's the big thing is you get people, you get my family circumstance, you get my challenges I've got day to day, and you help work alongside that, and the big thing is you understand as well that we've had conversations, in terms of me saying I want to make sure I'm supporting my wife as well, and she's done wrong. She's been incredibly supportive in terms of giving me the sort of the freedom and the flexibility to to explore this and to develop further into it. And she can see the benefit. She can say to me, I've got more energy, I'm happier, and I'm more engaged, all of that kind of stuff. And I guess just a massive thank you to you really as well for just for all the help and support you've given me, because as I say, you've got me to a position which I've not been in 10 years now. It's taken 4 months to get to this stage, to drop in the 10 kilograms, to starting to build the muscle mass, and to have the confidence to flex with stuff as well. And as we've said before, I don't weigh everything out 100% because I don't, but I make choices to eat the foods where it's easier to eyeball. And therefore, and I've not seen any negative to that. And yeah, absolutely, don't get me wrong, I'd probably see a little bit more benefit if I was 100% on it. But I think where I've got to over these 4 months, it goes to show you don't have to be 100% perfect to be successful. And I think one thing that always worries me is I've got to measure everything out gram for gram. And yeah, as I say, that will be beneficial in certain situations, but I've still seen massive success despite that. And it's about finding that balance, with everything. And as I say, you've been great with that. And, ultimately, the community as well, the tribe community being great, the WhatsApp group that I'm part of as well. There's a lot of people in there. Everyone's rooting for each other. Everyone's helping each other. Everyone's celebrating each other's wins. So it's a great community to be part of. And like I say, massive thank you for, help and support.
Mate, very, very welcome. I was going to say happy wife, happy life, and I think that comes from working on yourself. But you're right, I said, just the last thing there. It's about not making it any overwhelm. Like, as one of my sayings is that I help men get in shape, but also stop the overwhelm with nutrition or make nutrition simple. And I think that's where you have to sort of understand the amount of plates that you're spinning is a lot. You don't need to spin anymore. So if that means doing what you're doing is working for you, even though it's not optimal, but what is optimal, it doesn't matter because that's going to add more and more stress to your anxiety, overwhelm, but then if that leaks into what you have to do with your family, it just doesn't make sense as a trade-off. So everything's a trade-off, and it's about meeting you where you're at and managing that overwhelm. So, mate, thank you for the chat. You'll see big things with Aidan in 2025. I'm sure we'll do this again when we've packed on more tissue. So, yeah, thank you for joining me, and yeah, thanks very much, mate.
Thank you.